Key West, it's certainly calling us.
Get all the details and lock in your spot now at keywestmarlin.com.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, the StarTron Central West region has a few dolphin finding tips and then some for you. And then our captain in the Phillips and Jordan Southwest region has our weekend punch list ready to go. So get those spinners ready. But you know what? We'll be right back.
All right.
The Florida Insider Fishing Report is brought to you by StarTron. Start, run, and store with StarTron. Berkeley, your fish, our science. CCA Florida, conserving Florida's fisheries since 1985. Frontrunner Boatworks, performance-built offshore fishing boats made in the USA. The Florida Keys and Key West, come as you are. Murphy's Law Sport Fishing. Book your trip today at murphyslawsportfishing.com. And Strike Zone Fishing.
Coastal Conservation Association, Florida, and we are always working for you.
At Phillips and Jordan, we're building a more sustainable, resilient future. As a critical infrastructure contractor, we're working nationwide to support industry, strengthen communities, and drive economic growth. In Florida, we're improving water quality and ensuring long-term water supply through aquifer recharge, nutrient reduction, and wetlands restoration. Our core values, integrity, safety, quality, and production, are non-negotiable. P&J, driven by purpose, powered by people, and committed to a sustainable future.
They say there's a fine line between pleasure and pain. Here in the Florida Keys, that fine line is more often than not hooked up to an amped-up angler and screaming reel. So whether you're deep offshore for marlin or shin-deep for bones, the Keys will put your line and your arms to the test. The Florida Keys and Key West.
Welcome back, everyone. The key to finding dolphin in the StarTron Central West region starts with timing and ends with a little luck and some tacos if Captain Jeff Page has anything to say about it. What's up, Jeff?
That's right. I like your style there. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we don't have the mahi bite that they have down in the Keys or up the East Coast. But during the summer months, like right now through August, September, it's not uncommon while you're out bottom fishing, the deeper water too, that you might find a color change of the water, you might find a weed line, or you may even see some fish up on top feeding. That's why it's always good to have a flat line ready. And if you come across them, you can troll down the weed line, or better yet, you could have a live well full of pilchards and fire them out there and get them going on top, and then just, you know, keep feeding them free line bait. I have a photo tonight of Captain Randy Powell down in Venice, Florida, just south of Sarasota, with a nice mahi got with a client. Okay. Staying offshore, red snapper bite. Remember, it's open for 2 months this season instead of just one. And so we're right in the middle of it. And guys are having no trouble getting their limit. But the key, Bree and Rick, has been 150 feet on out. In other words, it's that the shallower water areas aren't holding the good fish. Is that the water temperature? I'm not sure. But the marking of the bait over the hard bottom areas is key. And a live well full of pinfish and pilchards is second important. Guys, Tim Noe out of Sarasota and Gulf Coast Ventures has been doing real well limiting out on his snapper trips, as well as the Flying Hawaiian Kaylin Olayer down out of Stump Pass. And my photo tonight is of a big crew Does Captain Tim know?
Wow.
Everybody. Yeah, look at that, huh?
Look at that.
Man, that's a bunch
That
of big
would
red
be a
snappers.
good Christmas card right there.
That's right. All right. Speaking of Christmas cards, let's go inshore, Bubba.
All right, well, it's definitely dog days of summer, Rick. Water temperatures, if we don't get rain in the afternoon, the water temperatures first thing in the morning, 87, 88, and the speckled trout, yeah, you can get a few up in the shallows, but that's not going to last but maybe an hour. And then you're going to want to start working the deeper grass flats, 3 to 7 feet, and they're everywhere. We run a lot of them over, Rick, and there's fish on all of them. You might want to see if there's a bait on the flats. A lot of times the birds will give it away. But once you've decided, all right, I'm going to give this flat a try, a really good technique is a popping cork with about maybe 3 feet of line, maybe even 4 once you get good at swing casting it. And underneath that, light 16th or 8th ounce jig head with a Berkeley curly tail or a Berkeley gulp shrimp. I like using the lighter colors, and it works real well. And you just pop, 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 cork goes down, set the hook. And you might get a mackerel, you might get a bluefish as well. My trout photo tonight is of a good one with Captain Will Osborne out of Cortez, Florida.
That is a big Johnny Trout right there, bud. All right, 1 to go. What do you got?
Look, and we're, with a lot of the fish still having to spawn, I'm sure some did in June. We've got that moon coming up in July, so the fish are stacked up in the passes. All of them, from Boca Grande Pass all the way up to Egmont. Pretty much every pass is holding snook. Now, they're not all going to be in the same location. The water's really clear. You can see the fish, and you can work them. I say if you want to hook a big snook, afternoon outgoing tide, big pinfish, big grunts on big 40-pound test monofilament leader tackle, and you'll get you a big one. Let those fish go with the tide free line, and I'll have a report next week from the Big Art Memorial